Today we're going to be installing a set of dual carb velocity stacks and a performance rebuild kit on these carbs. When you order this stuff, this is exactly what you're going to get in the package. I'll show you guys what we have here. Got some stacks. They all come in their own little baggies. You got screens, stainless steel filtration screens. There's the other stack, and it comes with an Allen wrench to install. I'll set those aside, put those on at the end. And this is the performance rebuild kit. We have a stock rebuild kit and a performance kit. The main difference there is that the performance kit's going to come with jets, pilot and main jets, to set your carbs up for open intake, open exhaust, that kind of thing. So the stock rebuild kit just has stock jetting for whatever bike you pick. So the performance rebuild kit, you're going to get 2 air fuel mixture screws, 2 slide diaphragms. You're going to get 2 of these little guys, little bags, which is going to have your float bowl gasket, your float needle, float bowl drain O-ring, ACV O-ring, and this little O-ring which goes up to the slide chamber port, and you can replace that. Also includes a dual carb bolt kit. These are all stainless bolts, and a vacuum plug kit. And last but not least, you have a performance jet kit here and this handy dandy bag to put trash in or spit in, or yeah, many uses. I'm going to go over something that I actually do have a video for on my YouTube channel and on our support page, but I think that since we're in the middle of doing this, I'm just going to walk you through it anyways, because this video is all about exactly what I do to rebuild my carbs, help you guys do them. In this performance rebuild kit, you're going to get these 2 slide diaphragms. These are okay, but I'm going to go ahead and replace them anyways, because that's what this customer has actually ordered, a full rebuild reconditioning. So I will walk you through how to replace the slide diaphragm. In the kit, the performance rebuild kit, you're going to have replacement slide diaphragms. If you pull your slides out, the diaphragms are in good condition, there's no holes or no tears. Even if you can't see any holes, if you're having performance or functionality issues, go ahead and replace them. If you're not, and you're just doing this to get stacks or open pipes on your bike, you can leave them and keep these as a spare. Save them for when these do go bad. It's a pretty simple process, and it is easy to fuck it up. So I'll show you how not to fuck it up. So push the diaphragm back. So you've got this plastic ring around here, right? And then on the opposite side, you have a black ring. What we're going to do before we take any of this apart, the carburetor is like so, the motor is here, this is the intake. So what you want to do is, see this little locating tab? You're going to mark where that sits on the slide right here. So I've got a little paint marker, and I'm just going to make a little mark. Now you can proceed to remove the old diaphragm. So you're just going to fold the rubber back. You're going to get a set of dikes, and you're going to clip this. Do not clip the metal ring around the top. Don't clip that, just the plastic. And the ring should split, kind of like that. Pull this off. Rubber's going to come off. And now you have a little black plastic ring here. And you're going to do the same thing, clip this off. So this looks a little dirty. There's like some crud still stuck under here, so I'm going to do a paper towel. Oh, I have this handy shop towel. Just wipe this off. The reason I use paint marker is when you wipe it, it's still there. If you use a permanent marker, using a rag can wipe it right off. Now you're going to take this guy, you're going to take your locating tab and line it up with the black mark on your slide. And push it around till it fits in that channel. As you can see here, this isn't fully seated. Easiest way to do that, just get your fingernail and push it down till it pops into that little channel. Now where some people fuck this up is they try to put this whole thing on from the bottom. I don't know why that would occur to anybody, but it has. Don't do that. Look at the bottom, make sure it's all seated nicely, there's nothing sticking out. And as you can see here, my locating tab is not perfectly in line with the black mark. That's okay. You just grab the center rib and push it around gently till it's lined up. And you don't want to pull on this part. Don't pull on this shit. This is thin, it's fragile, so pull on the rib in the center. Okay, check it out. pretty well lined up. Sweet. This customer has velocity stacks and wide open pipes. So we're going to use 2 shims on both needles. So you put those on the needle, put the needle through the center hole. Don't try to put this in like that because it doesn't sit straight. It's got a little spring on the bottom. It's going to lean. Easiest way to do this is get a nut driver or a Phillips screwdriver, put it on like so, hold the needle straight up in there. And then you're going to turn it, lock it in, and you're good to go. So let's install our slides. So you've got your top of your carb right here. You're going to take one of the slides, drop it in, make sure the needle goes into the needle jet down there. Line up your locating tab, and it helps sometimes to push this up so you can seat the diaphragm correctly. Going to get your spring. If you're wondering what this big long bolt is in the bolt kit, this actually replaces the bolt on your idle adjustment screw. You have several different lengths of screws here. There's some bigger ones, you've got longer ones, and kind of a medium. There's a short guy here. So you're going to use these medium length ones. I believe they're 10 millimeters, and that's going to be holding on your slide cover. So we'll take our freshly cleaned slide cover, and you can see there's a little notch here. You're going to line that up with the locating tab. To do this, to get this in without the spring going everywhere, I hold the slide up with my finger, make sure the diaphragm is seated properly, and then push it all together. You can use an Allen key, but this is what I do for speed. We'll find them later. And now you have a slide installed. So, next thing we're going to do is we're going to install our ACV, or air cutoff valve. The air cutoff valve is this little guy, the diaphragm, the spring, the cover. This is the retainer for the slide port, the vacuum port. Not a vacuum port, but a vent. And you're going to need to pull your little oval-shaped O-ring out of here. There we go. Put your oval O-ring in. Take your diaphragm, put it with the post side down. Spring sits right on top. And this is the cover. This is the O-ring that is the larger circular O-ring in this pack. So we're going to take our O-ring, put it back on here. Ta-da! Gets pushed back into this hole right here. It's a press fit. And take the little retainer, set the retainer on like so, and get the other bolt or screw. Now we're going to put the guts of the float bowl and the jets and the float back together. This is going to require one of the floats, our new float needle and seat. Look at how shiny and pretty it is. Ah! And as you can see, these have a new little filter on the end of them and a little hair. Little filter and this aluminum washer. Boop. That goes on the bottom here. And you're going to put it right in that little hole. And I use my fingers just to tighten it down, and then a wrench to give it just a little goose so it's tight. You're going to take your float pin and your needle here, this little float needle, and you're going to put the float needle back on the float and set the needle into the seat, and then put the pin through here. There we go. This center post here is where the jet holder is going to go back into. So that's going to go back in here. 7mm wrench. And this is where our main jet goes. So for this guy's setup, open pipes, velocity stacks, we're going to go with the larger set of jets in this kit. And in this case, this is a 145. Put it all the way in with your fingers, take your screwdriver, and tighten it down. Now, it's going to stop at a certain point. You want to give it just a few more pounds of pressure just to lock it in. And we've got our pilot jet here, and we are going to be using the larger one out of the kit, which is a 45. That goes right down there. Same thing with this. Once it stops, just a little love. So now we have reassembled the guts of the float bowl. You have your float valve, your float, the main jet holder, and the pilot jet. Now we got to put the float bowl back on. So you're going to take your float bowl gasket, set it in the float bowl. Make sure the gasket's all snug, stuck in its little channel. And you're going to turn your carb upside down. That's going to go like this, like you're getting sucked up into the alien ship. This is where you take the longer bolts in the bolt kit and tighten down the float bowl.